All right, kids or viewers, adults,
Kids?
women,
Am
children,
I a
I don't
kid?
know.
Am I a
We're
kid now?
today. Shut up. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make Sans Undertale as Sprite specifically. So there's this free program called Pixel Studio that you can get off of the internet. It's free. It's on the Windows Store. It's on Steam. It's free. But you can use other programs like Sprite to do this. Also, I should mention there's no script for this video. I'm just gonna be going off of how I make Sans Sprite specifically. There's no true way to make a Sans Sprite, but we're just gonna. I'm just gonna show you how to use the program in a short crash course. So when you hit these three lines down here in the bottom right, there's a create new tab. Okay, and you create new, and then we'll just name this tutorial Sans. I suck at spelling, but so there's all these presets here, and these are determined the size of it. 128 should be good enough for your Sans. So we're gonna do that, and we're just gonna use simple template because this is crazy. So you're just gonna hit simple template, and you get brought here. Now then, this little button right here, this adds layers. What layers are is basically like imagine canvases on top of your canvases. Okay, so that basically means you're working on one thing, it's not gonna affect the other layer, or rather the picture below that. So you're drawing on one picture, and if I draw on this picture, it does that. But if I go to this picture and try to erase this one, it doesn't do anything, but erases that picture. So you see how that works? That's the key to this. Now, something that does help when you are making a Sans sprite is having the background be a high contrast color, or a color that'll work. So we'll just do orange for now, and make that the bottom layer as well. So this way, you can see if you don't have something filled in. I wouldn't suggest doing it on a black background, however, because what that'll do is you won't be able to see what's filled in. And then when you make this transparent to try to import it into a system, you'll have to fill it all in. So I don't suggest doing that. Anyway, you're going to go to your top layer first. Now, usually Sans himself is broken down in 3 parts, but there's people who like to make more stuff for him, even though he's got his hands stuffed in his pocket the whole time, and he doesn't actually move his arms anywhere, except in certain stuff. So you're going to go up here to this little paint. What is this called again?
What?
The paint board or whatever, I don't know. The color picker.
The bucket?
No, the color picker. So you're gonna go over here.
Yeah, that's just called a color picker. Yeah. What?
Yeah, and this is the way I do it. So this is basically pick your color. I'm just gonna assume you know how to do this part. So you select, and we're just gonna go with black. This is just for the outline. Now, what you can do is draw the head manually, but it'll look kind of awky if you don't know what you're doing. So what I do is this. It's a very cheap and easy way to make a Sans sprite. There's this little tool here called the circle tool. All right, and you hit this. And that lets you pick the shape from many, but the circle tool is the easiest way to do this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click and drag, and you're going to make an oval. It doesn't matter the size of how you want it, but I'm going to make it, or let's say 37. There. You don't want it to be a perfect circle, per se. So, like, that's good for his head. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Also, something to mention. You want to make it an odd number when you do this, because if you do an even number, then his head's going to be misaligned. So here, 39 works. And then what you're going to do is, this is selected by the way, this lets you select something and then move it. So I'm just going to center this. And then we're going to go back to our circle tool, and then you're going to make a second circle like this. You're going to make it right below that one. Now you want to be careful with the second circle, because the second one kind of determines the size of the head. Although this one looks good, so we're going to do that. And then we'll drag it up here. Now this, you take your color picker and you drag it up here. This, now we're gonna fill it in. So now we have selected white, and you can click on the paint bucket tool here. This is what it looks like. See where my mouse is? Awesome. And then you're just gonna click on all the parts that you need to fill in. And then you're gonna select the eraser tool here and just wipe all of the, actually no, what you could do instead is take the pencil tool actually. Yeah, take the pencil tool to this one. It looks like a pencil, you can't miss it. And since you already have white selected, you could just write over this. Look at that. It's all gone now. All the weird stuff. Now that we have a blank Sans head, we're gonna actually make Sans himself. So this here is the eyedropper tool. This is good in case you want to like just quickly pick between the color palette that you've established. Usually some people make color palette. I don't. I just pick from the default ones here. I'm not particularly picky about it. Although there is color palette presets here, I think. Yeah, see, there's a whole lot of free color palettes here. Either way, now we're gonna do this. So the first thing I usually do is I make his smile first and then base him around that. So usually I do is I go up to the end and then I leave a pixel and then just slowly make an arch. This is a little too aggressive. You want to be careful about it because you don't want to make his smile too close to his cheek because then you can't put the actual smile. Now there's a lot of different ways you could do Sans' smile. But the way I like to do it is like this. So you make it like that and then you do the same for the other side. Just try to get a rough outline for his smile done. So make sure it matches up with this, otherwise it's going to look really weird. So just make sure that, you know, it's aligned correctly. And then there's a lot of different ways you can do this part. So what you can do is you just draw a straight line across. But you can make it a little more interesting if you just bring it down a bit. So like arch inward. Down toward the bottom of his mouth. Up. Okay, there you go. And then slowly bring it back up to the normal level. There you go. Look at that smile. Now then, Sans has teeth, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get rid of the corners here. Because now it actually looks like it's inside his head a little bit. And then you're gonna find the middle of his head. What I usually do is I mark it like that. So this is the center of his head. This means his head can be split into two halves evenly. So now we're gonna select here and just drag and just make a tooth in the middle. But you can do the teeth any which way you prefer. There's no golden standard for a Sans sprite. This is just how I do Sans sprites. So then you have that, and you're just gonna make teeth. Now the teeth can be a little bit odd sometimes, but that's fine. So yeah, there. You're making Sans' teeth. Here, Trinity, I'll screen share this. Oh wait, I'm alone. Aw. Well, that's fine. I can be alone for a bit. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Enough of that. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna do his nose now. Okay, so we're gonna drag across here. Now this is how I do a nose, but there's a lot of different ways you could do Sans' nose. For example, you could do two like this, and then drag it up, and kind of make his nose like in the game, because it's like a weird trapezoid shape. Let me just fix it a bit. So you could do that, but I'm just gonna do it the way I normally do. But his nose generally is a triangle, an upside down triangle or a heart. So I don't understand the lopsided nose thing. I don't know where that came from. So we'll do that. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna make his eyes. Now eyes got the tired eyes, you know, because he fucking stays up at night for whatever reason. So this is how you make his eyeballs. It's like two big circles. You're not gonna use a circle tool for this though, otherwise it's gonna look really weird. Unless you're trying to make a Spamton Sans, but I'm not doing that. So then you go up here. You're trying to make it kind of rounded, in a sense. Usually I like to go halfway to each and then try to establish something. So there you see, it's not quite an oval. But there you see, it's like that now. So now we have Sans' eye. Or at least his eye socket, not his actual eye. So there, that's yeah, his eye socket. You can adjust it. I feel like I'm gonna adjust this a little bit more actually, just to make this part a little bit more apparent. Okay, there you go. And then you're gonna make his eye. Now some people like to do the square eyes, like that. You can make them any size in particular. Some people do the 3, but I like to do these eyes. Thin rectangles. I've been getting into more of that. It just looks a little sharper. You can do the square ones if you want, but I'm just gonna do it like this. Should rub some of the top off of this. Yeah, you can select the eyedropper tool, select white, and then it'll take it back to this. Shape out his eye a little bit more. It was fine before though. Alright, now the easiest way to get his other eye there, a lot of people actually don't know, which is kind of odd, because most people make it from an angle. I'm just showing you from a straightforward perspective, like his default sprite in the game. So now you're gonna copy that. When you select the tool, there's a whole bunch of options here. It's like it says copy. You copy that and you drag it out. And there's these 3 dots. You hit the 3 dots. Lit by X. This basically flips it along the X plane, so you see how it's going like this. Bam. Now it's flipped. And all you're gonna do is drag it into place. Very easy.
Hey, it's me, Goku!
Trinity, don't do this to me.
Hey, it's me, Goku.
Yeah, you're back. I'm still recording this.
Hey, it's me, Goku. Hey.
Stop! Anyway, there, we have Sans now. We have his face, but his face is looking kind of dry. So most people don't actually shade it. I do, so I'm gonna give you the tutorial on how to shade his head. Now he is white, so the main colors here can be any of them if you want. Usually a lighter or darker version, but here we're just gonna go with these grays that they have here. So the darkest one normally is for like deep shadows and stuff, but we're gonna use the second one here. Now first we're gonna do his teeth, because you know how Sans is like a skeleton, right? His teeth are inside his face a little bit, so we're gonna take that gray and I just go along the top here. It's all about making him look dimensional a little bit. So there. He looks a little bit there. Now he looks a little bit more like that. And for his eyes, underneath his eyes, I like to think he's tired all the time as he falls asleep. But you can do this any way you want. So I take this second gray usually and just draw that. The length can be a bit iffy though. That seems to work. Now some people, what they like to do is shade the inside of his head a little bit for whatever particular reason, whether it shows emotion or not. But we could do it like this as well. So we can just take the second gray again and go along the center of his face. You can also do this on another layer too, in case you want to strip away the shading for whatever reason. And then, yeah, and then you can do these at the top here. I'd rather do this. It's all about making it look decent. Yeah, there you go. Sure. Now for his eye sockets themselves, you could shade. You could do some dot shading here, because this is I forget what the name is, but yeah. Anyway, I usually don't do those. What you can do though is you can take the grays again and kind of shade the outside lining of his head a little bit, but don't do it too much, because if you do it all the way around, it looks like pillow shading, and that's bad because it makes the thing you're drawing lose its dimension, and that's not good. I'm not the best spriter in the world. There's hundreds of much more talented people, but they don't share their secrets. So I'm sharing you mine because I care about my fan base a little bit. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm getting pinged. Oh, it's US Gen. That's not a problem. So, now what you're going to do is you're going to take the grays again, and we're going to make his head look a little rounded. So, I can let you look at what I'm looking at. SGN, hold on. So the shading now, we're going to make his head look a little round. just to give that extra detail in.
Oh, yo, Kildare, hi.
How did you get in here, Rocky?
Okay, fuck you then.
I'm just curious.
Wait, are you live? Are you still live? Hi,
No,
chat.
I'm recording it.
Hi,
I'm
Lo.
recording a tutorial on how to make sands. So there, and now
You're not even live.
So now we're drawing around his head here.
Upsetty spaghetti.
Don't do it too much.
Also, I
though,
cannot
'cause if
hear
it's
you.
Too
You're, like, dead.
intense. If it's too intense, it's not going to look good. How? My face is right up against the microphone. Okay, I hope that didn't bug out anything. Well, it looks like OBS is still picking up. Alright, enough of the weird shit. So now, yeah, we're just gonna go around his head here. Make it look solid and rounded. There, see, look, his head looks a little round. Although we can do this one more time. Like so. Just really get that roundedness going on his head. I'm gonna do that, I think. Yeah, that looks fine. Remember, if you feel like it looks wrong, don't be afraid to change it. Let me do this though, get a lighter gray. Alternatively, what you can do for this is there's a dithering pen here, and you can click this little cog, it's dithering. Click this little cog, color change value, and all this does is darken lightning. So dark, it basically, you know, makes this darker. Right here, you can do that. Just make his head look nice and round. You don't have to be as intense on the shading. But it all depends on the quality of it you want to make. So there, see, look, the top of his head looks pretty round. I think I'll get rid of that. I think I'll undo that. Go to the top there. Yeah. All right. And then we'll do the same here, just to finish off that roundedness. Just give his head dimension. You know, you want to make it look like his head's curving, because you don't want it to be flat unless, you know, because if you're not looking at the shading section here, then you probably move on to the torso section we'll get to later. But this is if you want to make it look good, you know, instead of just having it be black and white. So yeah. Now you're gonna go like this. Same thing as before. I usually just pick all the little pixels here. And then we'll take the lighter color and, you know, fill this in. Just a little bit. I don't think I'll do it that intensely. Well, I don't want to have a goatee either, so let me do that. Just make his head look round. And there you go. Sans head. That looks pretty decent. And then, well, I guess you could also do the teeth bottom here as well. And I'm just gonna see how that looks. That looks pretty solid. Alright, so there, now you got Sans' head. It's pretty decent. If you really want to send it above and beyond, what you can do is, so in the color picker, right, you pick your white color, and then there's a little setting called opacity. Drag this down pretty low. I usually do 25. I'll do 30 instead. And then what you could do is, what happens is it takes the color that's being clicked on, it fills it around, and what you could do is get this nice little eye glow going around. So you could do is make it a little intense around his eye, and then very softly shade it around with the opacity. That's a little too hard. I'll do the 1 for now. Yeah, it's too subtle. I'll do 40. And I'll put that back, and yeah, that looks a little better. There you go. Yep. Yeah, that looks fine like that. So there, now his eyeballs, you know, look a little glowy something. So that's Sans' head. We have Sans' head, okay? But now we need to move on to his torso. So we're gonna do is just select the next layer. Hold on a second. Yeah, you're gonna see things that might need a little bit of fixing. Yeah, it's fine. So then we're gonna select white again. Now we're gonna move on to his torso. Sans' torso can be a little bit iffy. You know, but we're just gonna continue on here. I'm gonna do my best to show you how to do this properly. So then you're gonna... So first things first, you can make his neck any width you want, but usually 2 away from the inside works. 2 away from the outside, I mean. And his neck is usually shaped like this. Like, it looks like the end of his spine is coming up into the bottom of his head. So there you go. And then you're gonna do this. Well, we'll get to the shading later. For now, just get the basic outline done. Now his jacket can be a little bit hard to do depending on what you're doing with it. But we'll start basic here. So we'll make a really basic jacket outline. So you're gonna go about to the top of his mouth here, and then you're gonna try to take the inside one and curve it inward. And then when you get close to his neck, start dragging it downward at an angle. So it looks like a little river here, in a sense, if that helps. Let me just select it and fix it. Because this jacket drapes a little bit. And here, we'll move it back, actually, slightly. See how good the layering is? Like, I accidentally selected his head there, but since we're on a different layer, it didn't move his head. And then you're just going to fill in it a little bit more. Some people like to get really crazy with their stuff. You know, they have really high quality sprites. I don't think I'm the best Undertale spriter. I'm nowhere near that. In fact, I consider myself pretty average in turns, but I'm here delivering this tutorial, so. If you needed one, and unfortunately the creator of Undertale community cannot help you, I'm doing this for you. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, his jacket's here. Now, yeah, his jacket can be a little tricky. It's a little hard for me too, but I'll give it the best shot I can for you. And then what you can do is this. So it looks like he has his hoodie going around. And just drag it like that. It's a little bit better, actually. And then what you could do is erase this a little bit and bring it inward so it looks like his hoodie's like, you know, like a hoodie. It's a little stacked on top of itself. Then you're gonna then you're gonna get black again and outline this. There's many different art styles. You'll eventually grow and evolve to have your own at one point. I personally think mine's pretty basic. It's not astounding. It's not aesthetically pleasing. Some. It's just the baseline, I guess. So yeah, you're just gonna trace around this and make sure to fill this part in too. For it. Just go around. And there. You have that. I know. Very simple, easy trick. Just, you know, select, copy, and then your combo. 3 dots, flip by X. There you go. And all you have to do is drag it into the same spot it was in before. Awesome. So now you have Sans' top half of his hoodie done. But this is still his torso. We're not done yet. So. Now what we can do here is hide his head. Like double clicking on the layer and then going back to this layer. Now what you're going to do is this is key later on. So you can draw across, but your tool, your shape tool here is a line tool. You can pick that. draw a line across to the other end of his hoodie, and then draw another line here at the top of his neck. Paint bucket, fill it in. So that way the bottom of it is black. The reason this is important is because, say you have a background behind your sands and you imported him, whenever he's moving, you're going to see right through the back of his hoodie. And that's not good, because you'll see the background behind him. It'll look really weird. So then what you're going to do is you're going to fill this in, draw a line here, fill that in, boom, and get his head back. I won't shade this in yet, because we still got more to go here.
God motherfucking damn!
What you doing?
Still making the tutorial video.
Cool. You dead. He's dead.
Anyway. Now you're going to make his shirt. So you can get your white again. And his shirt can be a little odd. But usually just make it like this. You don't want it to go into his jacket here, although you can adjust it. It looks a little rough. I kind of like it like that, so we'll keep it like that. Remember, you can select. Remember, this is how you have easy color palette, black and white. So you can just pick the eyedropper tool and go like this. Just select whenever you screw up. You can also do Control Z to undo stuff instead of having to manually get my mouse over there, which I should have been doing. But I'm just doing that to show you, hey, these buttons exist. And you're just gonna make his shirt. Now the height you make him can be variable. But you don't want to make it to where he looks too tall or too short. You don't want it to be like some people's sprites, like Redrum, for example. He makes his sprites kind of slender. There, just gonna fill that in. So there, that's his shirt. We'll make him about that tall. Now for his shirt, we're still gonna continue because a lot of people depict him with a sweater, so I'm gonna show you how to do that as well. Now there's a lot of different ways to do this. Some people just draw a line at the bottom. Like that kind of marks it, but if you want to make it a little bit more impressive, all you could do is make like a rough shape of it and just kind of go around like that. Like he has a little sweater on in a sense. It's there. You have it like that. And then, oh wait, no, you're not done yet. And then after that, what you're gonna do is, so you're gonna make his zipper. Now, his zipper is like a ladder shape, but the smoother way, at least I do it, is I just draw a line, and then midway through, I'll come back up and do this. So there. It kind of tapers off a little. I'm not a good artist, like amazing, but it does the job. So then you do this. We'll make it connect to that. Yeah. I'll fix his shirt up a bit. Make it more round. Because some people think he's fat, some people think he's skinny. I don't really care. This is just the way the sprite's gonna look. And then do the same thing on the other side. If you start running into his shirt, just, make it taper off. Don't make it too thick though. Just do this. Bring it down. Make sure it's even as well. You know what we could do? We could bring this up more actually. So you select tool, bring it up. Here, so now you can get more of his jacket going. Or better yet, I can just, I'll do this. I'll just move this over. Sorry for going silent, because sometimes you have to kind of focus a little bit on what you're drawing, so it'll happen. Anyway, yeah, now you've done this, and you're gonna move and fill all this in. So, draw a line, get around this, and then you can paint bucket it to fill it all in. So there. And then just move this down. Just get the whole outline of this done. So there. Oh, I gotta fix this shirt. Oops. Right there. His shirt looks pretty full. What you could do is also add lines to try and give his shirt, you know, like it's a little baggy in a sense. The more lines you draw, the more baggy it'll look. I won't do it too intensely though. Here. Just little pixels here and there. Make sure they're cohesive though, it makes sense. As in like, yeah, it's baggy in these spots because you can't just be like this. Or, you know, it's hard to explain. I'm not good at that. Anyway, now you're gonna make his actual jacket, so basically his pockets and stuff. So his pockets usually start from the middle here, and there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but what I like to do is this, so you kind of make like a sort of oval, in a sense. It's not quite, but it's just gonna go all the way down to here, and then use this, bring it down and around, cut out some of the inside a little bit. And you're gonna find one part of the jacket, so usually the corner here, and just drag and just draw a line upwards. You can also make it angle inward a little bit. Okay, there you go. And then what you can do is copy paste it and bring it to the other side. Just make your life a little easier. Unless you want to have certain jacket designs decline, but this is like the fast way to make a sans serif. So there. Symmetrical. Now you have his jacket outline. What you're going to do is, this is a really cheap and easy way to do this, but you're going to take a black line here and bring it up. Another one on the other end and bring it up. And paint bucket again, and then fill those in. Look at that, we're halfway done with sans, kind of. And then what we're going to do is, you're just going to fill out the outline here. This is important. So just go around and trace the outline you made around the white. Unless you're doing your video on a black background, then the black background does the work for you. But my videos usually don't, so I have to do the black outline. So there. You just outlined his jacket. Now it's time to shade his jacket. So you're gonna keep the palette the same. Now since Sans' hoodie over here goes behind him, we're gonna indicate this as the darkest point. Although once again, shading's dependent on whether you have a light source. So, but we're just gonna assume we're looking at him head on. So, the darkest gray you have, or color, is gonna be near the back. And also you're going to use it here because this is kind of underneath, in a sense. So we're going to do it on this side, so shade that in to where it's a little dark. And then when you feel like you can move, you can start getting the rest of the other color in. So now it goes like this. And get it over here as well. And just overall fill that in. And you're just going to keep going. So eventually you're in the front, and then you just start outlining it to make it look like it's a little fluffy, in a sense. So just make sure, don't do a whole outline though, because if you do a whole outline, it looks really bad, see? So if you just do little dots like that, it'll come out a lot better. And you could put some darker ones in as well to give it better texturing. So there, you see? Now his jacket looks actually like a little bit textured. And then, well, since we are lazy, you're gonna take that and copy paste it. You know, the easy way. Once again, light source is a variable in this, so if you're doing a light source, so be it. Basically, also, I haven't explained what that is. It just determines what the shading is going to look like. So here, look at that. Boom. And then for his neck, since his neck is below his head and inside of it, we can shade the inside a little bit with a darker color, and then do this. So there, see? Alternatively, we could do is just do the top and then that. And that looks good. So we'll keep it like that. Yeah, like that. If it looks a little weird to you, it's probably not. So that's not right. So, nope. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta fix stuff. That's how it is. This your sprite will come out bad, and everyone's gonna make fun of you for it. Bullying Rocky. I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but I'm in a beat battle with him. So the song is Plankton Lovania, and I made a cover for it, so we're gonna see if I win or not. I don't think I'm gonna win. It's not that outstanding. Rocky has much better melodies than me. I just kind of change it up a bit. Anyway, now we're gonna do his shirt. Now that where we added lines, we're gonna indicate that bagginess. So you can draw darker grays underneath. No, don't make it too much. And then for his outline here, just since this is inside, I'm just gonna do it like this. Just bring it around. And there you go. And his sweater down here, since it's down near the bottom, so what you could do is do this. So I like to assume that it's inside a little bit. Is that backwards? That's backwards. Oh no, it's fine. It's okay. And once again, texturing the darker grays. You could also add the lighter grays and lighter colors as well, just to make it look a little textured. But that's fine. And then you're gonna get over here to his other stuff, and you can just shade the outside or the inside, actually. Like to the outside a little bit in case this is like shaded inside, so that you know, oh, okay, it's higher over here, because the darker colors means it's behind us in a sense. If that makes sense. I'm not sure entirely if that makes sense. Yeah. And yeah. And then also over here, there's pockets. Draw here. But to kind of make it in the middle of a sense, and then also on the top. Because this is where his arms are. Well, either his armpits and stuff. Just gonna draw what the heck happened to the outline here. That's fine, it's fixed now. And and also here. I guess. And then I should shade this as well. The lower sections though. Let's see if it's slightly better too. Yeah, there you go. Nice. And now we're gonna move on to his pockets. Now I did kind of screw up here, but I can just make another layer on top of this, and it makes a new layer on top of this one. So when I press plus here, it makes this layer. We're gonna make Sans' pockets. We're gonna make Sans' arms now. They're inside his pockets. Okay, so you're gonna pick the part of his hoodie that's the farthest end, although it kind of depends. I'm just gonna try and arch out and then bring it back in. And then from here, you're going to make this so that way it looks like he has his arms folded inward. Kind of indicate his elbow a little bit. Of course, it need to be a little bit higher, but Sans' sprite is a little odd. And then you're just going to outline that and fill this in. So start the outline for his arm. Just go around, put the black outline. Just fix that. And also here as well. So that way we can use the fill tool on this. And there, filled it out. So I think I should move this up. That's fine. Or, no. Wait. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta tweak it a little bit. There you go. Alright, nice. Alright, now you're gonna shade his arm. So here we are. Go like this, fill that in. Oh shoot, I almost forgot to shade in. Yeah, I almost forgot. Careful. Shade these as well. Make go in, out. Yeah. Just get that base done. It's very simple. Alright, awesome. And then you make it. Okay, cool. Select the arm layer, and now you're just gonna shade it again. So since this is near the top below his hoodie, make it kind of like that, and then pick your lighter colors, and then you slowly go down. Yeah, and then this over here, since it's going into his pocket, like that a bit. And then you can fix his arm a bit, so get rid of the rougher outlining here. So like that doesn't look okay, to me at least. Just generally fix it where you think it needs to be fixed. So usually I like it like this. Generally no outline that's too thick. There, and then you got his arm. And then since it's symmetrical, we can select it, copy, drag it, and then flip it. And then just align it. There you go. Now you got the top half of Sans done. Now we're finally going to move on to his legs. You're going to pick the bottommost layer. That's not the background. Select this. Now what I do for his legs, actually I should do white. What I do for his legs is I don't normally draw it. Although you can get a little bit more better lines, but you can do the line tool as well. Just drag it down, get a straighter pants. But he wears shorts, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna drag down and make his pants. You don't want his pants to be too long, because his pants also indicate his leg length. And generally you want it to start at the same spot. And just kind of drag it down. You also want it to end near the same spot as well. All you do is take your line tool, or you can make it a bit rounded, like that. And just go like this. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna make his parts where his his shorts come inward, right, like that. That doesn't look that good because it's a triangle. What you should do is just bring it as close as you can. And then go up. And then bring one side in. And then it is you take your line, or you can draw a line and do this. Now the which leg is gonna be in front depends on how you have it angled. So if you have it like this means that this leg's in front and this one's behind. So yeah. But I'm just gonna draw that. So that's kind of like his crotch area. In a sense, his groin. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this, you're gonna remove this, and just fill in the top here. This makes your life a little easier. And also what I do suggest, if you do plan to animate your sprite, I'll do a tutorial on animating Sans sprites later, but you should fill the top in here a little bit more, just to save you some time later. And then fill it in. And then you're gonna trace the outline of Sans' pants. Sans' pants. It's gonna go around. We'll do that. And just generally outline his pants here. Like that. And then now that for his shorts start to have like lines on them, right? So now what we can do is take the line tool in a sense and just make a line that goes down and then, you know, fill it in with the paint bucket tool. So there. Now it looks like his actual shorts in the game instead of just having black pants on. Of course, you can tweak this a little bit. Make it look okay. Alright. And then you're going to do the same thing for his other side. Now his short lines do depend, because he could have one foot. Look, we'll get into the feet later, but if you have it like this close, his foot's going to be pointing in a different direction. So make sure you put it generally in an area where you're, as long as you're foresighting ahead with the layout of your stance right. Because I don't normally picture an image in my head. I just kind of start drawing and go from there. So there, this one looks kind of thick. So we're going to fix it a bit. A little thinner. Sometimes you can draw sands with 2 lines for his shorts, like so. But we're just gonna do 1. And now we're gonna move on to his feet. And you can make his feet a separate sprite, but I usually just attach them to the pants. So for his feet can be a little bit tricky. You're gonna go near the inside here, not all the way though, just like maybe 1, 2, or 3 pixels. We'll go over outside a little bit, maybe 5 pixels like that. So about this length. And then you're gonna draw his calf, and then you draw his ankle. Or not his ankle bone. His Achilles bone, I think. I don't know. It's a bone. So that's that. And then you're gonna make it sock, because Sans wears socks. Like a Chad. So you're gonna do like this. Generally, the way the sock is determines which direction his feet are gonna be facing. So we'll do that. It looks fine. And then you're gonna draw the bottom of his slipper. Sans wears slippers. And then you're gonna make it kind of like a hill. It's gonna be flat at the bottom. Remember, this determines the bottom of his foot, okay? I'm gonna fill that in. What you can do is make it more rounded. So chip away at some of it here. And then you can expand his sock out a little bit more if you want. Oh, that doesn't look that good. Remember, it's a personal preference thing. There's never going to be the best sand sprite in the world because everyone has a different taste of their sands, I guess. So some people like to make his feet very flat. I know a lot of Japanese creators do. They make his feet extremely flat. And I kind of like the fatter foot a little bit, and it's too flat on the top there. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Should probably. There we go. Awesome. And then you're going to fill this in. Put the black. Go around. Just get all the little spots here. On his foot. Go around his sock. I don't need this here. Around that. Just all around his foot. There you go. And then you're going to do the same thing for the other side. Hold on a second. There you go. You got a full foot now. Now, since this foot's like this, if you want, you could just copy paste his foot now to the other side. But since we have his foot like that, we're going to draw his other foot a different way. So we're going to do the ankle again. So this time make it a little bit smaller. Or no, make it wider. Yeah. Like that. So you can select and bring it out wider. And find the bottom of it, and again, the little hill. And then adjust it. And then like this. You're gonna go the black outline again. So go around and fill in all the black outline. And there. Now then, his feet do look a little different. Well, it's because this line shows this foot's in front, this foot's behind. So it doesn't particularly matter though, unless you're trying to be that in detail. But yeah. And then finally, we're going to shade and color in his pants. So we're going to take our grays again. Near the top, since he has his torso above his pants, we're going to make this the darker one. Don't go that deep down though. I generally don't. But it's up to you. And also his area here, fill that in mostly with that color. And same for here. And then you're going to take your lighter gray and just bring down. Just get that shading done. Make sure the outlines line up too. To like, you know, each other. Otherwise it would look a little odd. Generally though I do that because he's also got his arms over here, so this would obviously be a little bit deeper. And then finally his feet. So since his feet are at the very bottom, we could do the same thing we did to the neck. In a sense. So since his feet are at the bottom here, we'll do that. I kind of like the way that looks. It looks his foot. It makes it look circular in a sense. I like that. Yeah, instead of that. So okay, you know, we'll keep it like that. And then his actual slipper here. Oh, this is easy, just that. Go around, do the corners. And then pick the lighter color and go around. Now it looks like his sock's actually like soft in a sense. And then do this. I'm not a qualified original sprite artist, so like this is just me rambling on at this point. Self-confidence is real. Anyway, go like this. Don't completely do the whole outline. It'll look really bad, trust me. Do not pillow shade. I was a very hard victim of that in my early videos. Give his foot a bit of dimension. See, look, that looks bad. This does not. Oh, that's a taste thing. So if you love your pillow shading, by all means go ahead, pillow shade your sands, but people are not going to be that entertained, especially when you start getting recognized and noticed. People are... The Undertale community is super critical on stuff now, so it hurts even more when you post something that's bad. And then you're going to do this. And then finish off his feet. And, you know, do the outline again. And there. That's Sans Undertale. At least a pretty good sprite of it. It's alright. It's not astounding. But it's a start in case you want to make sprites of Sans. So, yeah. I went above and beyond, by the way, with this to do the shading for you as well. So, you're welcome, I guess. Instead of just having no shading, it's just white. In which case, that's perfectly acceptable too. Anyway, now what you're gonna do is you want to save this, but hold up. You can also get rid of the backgrounds. When you save it, it's transparent. So I'm gonna save it as transparent by hiding this layer. You're gonna go to your 3 lines here in the program and hit save. You can save it as multiple different things. Save it as GIF, PNG, PSP, or MP4 if you have premium. But generally, I save it as a PSP first, so that way you can pull up this file in Sprite or Pixel Studio, and you open it. It's right there unedited. So it's good for making a backup. And you're gonna do is you can also hit these 3 lines to save to files in like a specific file, but Pixel Studio will usually default to a folder it'll save to. So I have it saved to my sprites folder. And this is important when you're turning it into something else like a PNG or a JPEG. If you make it too small, it's gonna come out really blurry. So generally what I do is I do 4 times the normal size. I don't usually do 8 times unless it's like high quality, but we'll do this, save that. So now save the PNG. And there you go. Stands on until it saves. So now when I open up my folders here, I go to my sprites folder. You should be able to find him. There he is. Sans. So yeah, that's how you make a Sans sprite. I didn't get into making sprite sheets specifically because this is just literally how to draw him. I'll get into sprite sheets in another video, and I'll probably combine that with the how to animate him video that I'll do next. But for now here, that was how to draw a Sans Undertale sprite. So if you want more tutorials from me of how to make certain stuff, just ask in the comments. I'll gladly do more of these, so I feel like this is actually helping people in the community instead of just having to be constantly uploading content. Because this generally would help you. So you're welcome. I will see you all next time, the next tutorial, and you get to hear my Aki voice again. It's really high pitched. See ya.